good morning and welcome back to Ask Mason. This is my show I do every couple weeks where I take your questions and try to answer those. Had some really good questions this week, and I want to get right to that. I do want to mention to you that if you do have a question, you can go online to askmason@enid.org. Provide your question. I'll never use your name, but I'll do my best to always answer those questions. So anyway, with that being said, the questions come up. If you were watching our meeting last week on the 5th, you noticed that one of our commissioners, Keith Saragusa, resigned because he took another job. And I've had multiple questions on this all week. Well, if he has another job, why does he have to quit being a commissioner? Well, a couple of reasons, and we did a lot of research on this before that decision was made, but you cannot hold, it's offices that you cannot hold, dual offices in the state of Oklahoma. And he has decided to go be the undersheriff in Grant County, still going to live in Garfield County, which is fine, but you cannot hold two offices in the state of Oklahoma. So that's what disqualified him. And with his background, his experience, he wanted to go do that. I will say that we're going to miss him. Commissioner Saragusa was an excellent commissioner that represented Ward 3 very well. He will be missed, and you know, he was a good advocate for everyone in that ward and for Enid as a whole. So that means that Ward 3 is up for election, but prior to that, we're going to have to make an appointment. According to our charter, whenever a commissioner or a mayor resigns and there's still any time left on their term, we, the commission, have to take applications, vet those people, and then select someone to finish out that term. Now, in this case, it's going to run, since we will make that selection this next meeting on November the 19th, the remainder of his term will run from the 19th of November to the first Tuesday in May 2025. So it's a short period of time that person will be appointed, but we need someone that can represent Ward 3. In order to do that, if you have any interest and you live in Ward 3, you need to go online or come down to City Hall, get an application, fill that out, return it, and then by this Friday, by the end of this Friday, 5 o'clock this Friday, return those applications, and then be at the meeting on the night of the 19th. We will look at those applications, and then we will give everybody an opportunity to talk. Tell us why you think you would be a good representative for Ward 3. The commission will also have an opportunity to ask you some questions. So I encourage you to do that. You know, you just never know when we're going to get the next great commissioner. So I encourage you to do that. I also want to point out that during this time, normally Ward 3 is coming up anyway for re-election, Ward 4 and Ward 6. And the filing period for a full term will start, there will be 3 days of filing, and that will be December the 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th. So if you're interested in running for one of those 3 wards, and you live in those wards, you have to live in those wards, make sure you file December the 2nd, December the 3rd, or December the 4th by close of business that day. And then that election will be February the 11th, 2025. Now, it's interesting in Enid, according to our charter, even though you're elected February the 11th, you don't take office until the first Tuesday in May. So there will be a gap in there before you actually take office. Then from that point on, you'll be the representative, whoever's elected for that ward. I also want to remind you that voting is ward specific. You can donate to any candidate, you can put signs out for any candidate, but when it comes time to vote, if you live in Ward 3, you can only vote for the Ward 3 candidates and so forth for all the other wards. Wanted to say this, also, get to know your candidates. those folks that are running, I sometimes think we don't spend as much time as what we should on vetting our candidates and asking all the hard questions. And by hard questions, I mean, they're not going to be able to talk about national issues. We don't do that at the city level. However, what we do is try to set a vision, try to decide what we're going to do 5 years, 10 years, and 20 years from now. So when you're looking at a candidate, trying to decide who to choose, ask yourself, are they someone that can see something farther than just today? And so ask all those hard questions, ask them where they're at on certain local issues, and then pick the candidate of your choice that you feel represents you and your thoughts. One other thing I wanted to talk about that's coming up that will affect elections moving forward, but it will not affect this election, is if you've been watching any of our meetings, we've been having hearings, and we're going to have one on the 19th on changing the boundaries for Ward 1 and Ward 2. Now, I've had a lot of questions on this. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing it right during an election? Well, we are mandated by the state of Oklahoma. Every census, within a certain period of time, we have to take the numbers, see if the population in our communities moved around so that we're over 4% larger in one community or one ward than we are another ward. And if so, we have to try to change those boundaries. That happened in Ward 1 and Ward 2. Ward 1 has grown, has more people in it. Ward 2 has actually gone down in population. So there is actually a group over at Oklahoma State that studies this and the best place to divide those boundaries, where to move that. We gave that to them, told them our situation, and they come back with a solution. And on the 19th, we will discuss that for the last time. It'll be advertised in the paper what we're going to do. And then hopefully we will move that boundary just a little bit to make sure the populations are about right. Now, you're going to see that Ward 2 still has more population. However, one of those areas in Ward 2 has a large group of Marshallese population, which, however you see this, doesn't matter to me, but just following the law right now, the Marshallese population cannot vote in the United States. Therefore, we do not count that population as far when it comes to calculating voting population in the wards. So with that being said, we think that'll balance it back out, make it more fair. Now, what we have done, I want to remind you that Ward 1 and Ward 2 are not up for re-election. So this will have nothing to do with the February 11th vote. So it will not affect it at all. So that will be 2 years from now. So you'll have plenty of time if your precinct has changed where you need to vote. And I encourage everyone to tune in on the night of the 19th, where we'll go into a lot more detail on that, and you can kind of see where we're drawing those lines. With elections coming up, local elections specifically, you're going to start seeing, in December, you'll start seeing a lot of yard signs. We always have a few problems with yard signs. I'm not sure why that's always a point of contention. I would encourage every candidate out there to always ask for permission. I've been involved in 2 campaigns, and at both of those campaigns, I never, ever put up a sign that I did not have permission to do that. So I would encourage the candidates, go knock on the door, find out who the landowner is, and ask them if you can put that sign on there. And then out of courtesy, everyone leave those signs alone. And at the end of that election, win, lose, or draw, well, it won't be a draw, it'll be a win or a loss. I ask those candidates the next day to go pick all those signs up so that they're not left scattered throughout that ward. So a lot of things going on with the elections, local elections, and I think it's exciting that that's very much our democratic system, and gives you an opportunity to have a voice. So don't miss out on that. Don't miss that opportunity. Two other things I want to mention to you before I go is on December the 1st, and that'll be here before we even know it, will be the lighting of the Christ tree downtown. That has turned into a large event. We're excited about that. I looked at the numbers last year on the first night, the night of the lighting, we had almost 15,000 people downtown. So that's exciting. I'd like to see that go up every single year. We're starting to get a lot of people from out of town coming into this. So it's a great event. I have had the opportunity the last couple of years to watch my grandkids watch those lights come on, and I trust you, it's an experience you don't want to miss. So that's December the 1st. That's on a Sunday evening at 6 o'clock. Try to make arrangements to be down there if you can. The last thing I want to mention today is we also have on December the 7th, the State of the City address. This is an address that I will talk to anyone that wants to show up about what's going on in the city, what happened in 2003, but more importantly, where we're headed. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about what's going on in the city of Enid, and I want to share that with you. And you just can't be a true part of the community if you don't know what's going on. So come be a part of that. It'll be December the 7th, 11:30 at the Stride Event Center down in the main ballroom. We serve dinner. Or lunch, and it's open to the public. I would encourage you, and we'll run how you contact us on that on the screen, but make sure if you're bringing a group, these tables seat 8 people, try to let us know, and we'll try to reserve you a table, but it costs no dollars to attend this, and I think it will let you understand a lot of the things that have happened in Enid and a lot of the things that you're going to see over the next 12 months. So with that being said, thank you for watching today. Send in your questions to askmason@enid.org, and I will do my very best to answer those questions. Thank you, and enjoy your day in Enid.